Somewhere in the world right now, a case file sits unopened. A killer walks free. A family waits for answers that will never come. And a story, buried for years, decades, sometimes centuries, is waiting to be told. This is Faceless Coconut, where the darkest crimes in human history are pulled from the shadows and finally brought into the light. Every case is real. Every victim mattered. Every truth, no matter how disturbing, deserves to be spoken. So, turn off the lights and listen closely, because tonight we open the file. Tonight's story is The Devil's Backbone, the most dangerous road in Texas. There is a road in Texas, a 2-lane stretch of cracked asphalt winding through the hill country between Wimberley and Blanco. The locals call it the Devil's Backbone, and they say if you drive it alone at night, you won't always make it to the other side. People have vanished on this road. Bodies have turned up in the ravines below. Drivers have reported figures standing in the darkness. There 1 second, gone the next. Some say it's haunted, but the real story is far darker than any ghost. Highway 32, 60 miles of narrow winding road cutting through some of the most remote and rugged terrain in Texas. The hill country is beautiful in the daylight, rolling limestone ridges, ancient cedar forests, rivers running cold and clear through limestone beds. But when the sun goes down out here, it goes completely dark. No streetlights, no towns for miles, just the road, the cedar, and whatever is out there in the darkness between the trees. The Devil's Backbone Ridge itself, a narrow spine of limestone running through the hills, has been considered cursed ground for as long as anyone can remember. The Comanche knew it. They called this area Dangerous Land, a place where the spirits of the dead walked between worlds. The Spanish missionaries who came after them named it El Espinazo del Diablo, the Devil's Backbone, and the deaths have never stopped. The killing started long before the road existed. In the 1800s, the hill country was the front line of one of the most brutal conflicts in American history, the Comanche Wars. Settlers pushing west, Comanche warriors defending land their people had hunted for generations. The limestone ridges of the Devil's Backbone became ambush country. Wagon trains attacked, settlers slaughtered, warriors cut down by cavalry rifles. The blood soaked into this limestone so deep, some say it never dried. Then came the outlaws. In the decades after the Civil War, the hill country became a hideout for men who had nothing left to lose. Cattle thieves, murderers, deserters from both armies. Bodies found in the ravines below the backbone were rarely investigated. Out here, in those days, men just disappeared. And nobody asked too many questions. But the disappearances didn't stop when the frontier closed. They continued. Quietly, consistently, all the way into the present day. In the decades since Highway 32 was paved, the road has claimed life after life. Some were accidents, sharp curves, no guardrails, sheer limestone drops into darkness on both sides of the ridge. A moment of distraction at 60 miles an hour, and the road takes you. But not all of them were accidents. Over the years, multiple bodies have been found in the ravines and cedar breaks along the backbone. Some showed signs of foul play. Some were never identified. Hikers who went into the cedar forest and simply never came back. Motorists who pulled over and were never seen again. In the 1980s and 1990s, several unsolved homicides were linked to the stretch of road between Fisher and Wimberley. Investigators believed a killer, or possibly multiple killers, were using the remote ravines of the Devil's Backbone to dispose of victims. The remoteness that made it beautiful, made it perfect. No cameras, no witnesses. Miles from the nearest town, a body in those cedar breaks could lay undiscovered for months. Some were. But it's not just the deaths that make this road strange. It's the witnesses. Ordinary people. Ranchers, truck drivers. Families driving home late at night. All reporting the same things. On the same stretch of road. A Confederate soldier standing at the edge of the tree line, staring at passing cars. There in the headlights for a moment, then gone. A woman in white standing in the middle of the road, drivers swerving to avoid her, and finding nothing when they stop. The sound of horses in the dark, hoofbeats on the limestone when no horses are anywhere near, and the feeling, reported by almost everyone who has driven that road after midnight, of being watched. From the cedar trees, from the darkness below the ridge, from somewhere just outside the reach of your headlights. Ranchers who have lived along the backbone, their whole lives refuse to drive it alone after dark. That tells you something. Here is what nobody talks about. The Devil's Backbone sits at the intersection of three ancient Comanche trails. Trails that converged on this ridge because the Comanche believed this was where the boundary between the living and the dead was thinnest, where things could cross over in both directions. Whether you believe that or not, the facts remain. More unexplained deaths per mile than almost any road in Texas. More unsolved disappearances. More unidentified remains. More witnesses reporting things they cannot explain. And not a single arrest, not a single conviction for any of the bodies found in those ravines. The road is still there. Highway 32 still winds through those cedar-covered hills. People still drive it every day. And every now and then, someone pulls over on the Devil's Backbone and is never seen again. If you ever find yourself driving through the Texas hill country at night, and you see a sign that says Highway 32, keep driving. Don't stop. Don't pull over. Don't look too long into those cedar trees. And so the file closes. But the questions remain. Somewhere out there, the truth still exists, locked inside the memory of someone who has never spoken, buried beneath decades of silence, hidden in plain sight. Justice was never served. But here, in the Faceless coconut, the story is never forgotten. If this case stayed with you, it was meant to. Subscribe. Follow. Because next week, we open another file, another name, another truth, another darkness brought into the light. Until then, watch your back.